Your puppy has just weed on the floor for the fourth time today, and you're starting to wonder whether something is wrong with them. Nothing is wrong with them. Almost every potty training problem comes down to one of three things: asking for more than their bladder can physically do, missing the window where the reward actually lands, or accidentally teaching them to hide it from you. That's basically it. So let's go through the whole thing properly, in order, including the two mistakes that make this take twice as long as it needs to. And the first one is probably in your cupboard right now. Start with the number that explains almost everything. A puppy can hold their bladder for roughly 1 hour per month of age. So a 2-month-old puppy, about 2 hours. 3 months, about 3. That's a physical limit, not a behaviour problem. And it changes how you read every accident in the house. If your 8-week-old is having accidents after 90 minutes, they haven't failed at anything. You ask them to do something their body cannot do yet. Overnight stretches a bit longer because everything slows down while they sleep. But in the daytime, 1 hour per month, and cap it around 4 or 5 even for older puppies. So the schedule writes itself, and it's less about the clock than about the triggers. Take them out after they wake up, every single time, including short naps, after they eat, usually within about 15 minutes, after any burst of play, because activity moves things along, and last thing before bed. On top of that, roughly every hour or two for a young puppy. Here's the thing. Most people take their puppy out plenty. They just take them out at random times, instead of at the moments the puppy's body is most likely to need it. Same effort, completely different result. Now pick one spot and one word, and don't change either for a few weeks. Same door out, same patch of grass, same phrase. The reason isn't tidiness, it's chemistry. Their own scent on that spot is a signal that says this is the place, which is exactly why the second and third time go easier than the first. The word matters too, but not in the way people think. You're not teaching a command, you're building an association. So say it while they're actually going, not before. And pick something you're happy to say out loud in a park for the next 10 years. Here's the part almost everybody gets wrong, and it's the single biggest lever in the whole process. The reward has to land within about 3 seconds of them finishing. And it has to happen outside. Not when you get back in, not once you've gone and found the treats. 3 seconds, outside, while you're still standing there. Because a dog connects a reward to whatever they were doing, about 3 seconds ago. Praise them at the back door, and you've rewarded walking to the back door. Praise them in the kitchen, and you've rewarded coming into the kitchen. Take the treats out with you. That one change fixes more cases than anything else on this list. Which brings us to the thing you must not do, and I want to explain why rather than just telling you off. Don't punish accidents. Not shouting, not the rubbed nose, none of it. And it isn't only about being kind, although it is that too. It's that punishment doesn't teach a puppy not to go indoors. It teaches them not to go in front of you. So they start going behind the sofa, or in the spare room, or the second your back is turned. You haven't fixed anything. You've hidden it, and you've made yourself slightly less safe to be near at the exact moment they need your help. So, the thing in your cupboard. Most household cleaners contain ammonia, and urine breaks down into ammonia, which means when you clean a spot with a standard cleaner, to your nose it smells clean, and to your puppy it smells like a toilet somebody has recently used. You have just marked the spot for them. What you want instead is an enzymatic cleaner. It doesn't mask the smell, it breaks the compounds down so the spot stops being a signal. At all, look for enzymatic or bio on the label. And if you have had one stubborn repeat accident spot for weeks, this is very often the entire reason. Now, confinement, and I know crates are a slightly loaded subject. The principle underneath is simple, and it isn't really controversial. Dogs strongly avoid soiling the place where they sleep, so a properly sized crate or a small penned area gives their body a reason to hold on, which buys you the time to get them outside. The sizing is the bit people get wrong. Big enough to stand up, turn around, and lie down flat. That's it. Any bigger and they'll just use one end as the bedroom and the other end as the bathroom, which teaches precisely the wrong lesson. When they're not confined, they need eyes on them, and the real trick is spotting the tells about 10 seconds before anything happens. Sudden sniffing at the floor, circling, going quiet and drifting off toward a corner, or into another room. That last one is the big one. A puppy who suddenly leaves the room they were happily playing in is usually not being mysterious. And if your house is too big to watch them properly, put them on a lead attached to you. It sounds extreme, it lasts about 2 weeks. And it removes nearly every unsupervised accident you'd otherwise have. Nights. A young puppy will usually need one trip in the middle of the night, and there's no clever way around that for the first few weeks. So make it boring. No lights on, no chatting, no play. Out, wee, quiet praise, straight back to bed. If you turn it into a fun event, you will have a puppy who wakes you at 3 in the morning for the rest of the year. You can lift the water bowl an hour or 2 before bed. But don't restrict water during the day, and don't do it at all if it's hot or if they're unwell. Puppy pads. I'll be honest with you here because a lot of articles won't be. If your goal is a dog who goes outside, pads usually make it take longer. You're teaching them that going indoors on a soft, absorbent thing is fine. And then later you're asking them to unlearn that. Now notice what else in your house is soft and absorbent. Rugs, bath mats, the dog bed. There are genuinely good reasons to use pads. A 9th floor flat. A puppy who isn't fully vaccinated yet. Limited mobility. Just use them knowing it's a 2-step process, not a shortcut. Now, regression. Because it will happen and it panics people. Somewhere around 4 to 6 months, a lot of puppies who seemed completely sorted start having accidents again. That's usually normal, and it usually passes. Big changes do it too. A house move, a new person, a different routine. But here is the one thing I want you to genuinely act on. If a puppy who was reliable suddenly starts having frequent accidents, especially small amounts very often, or straining, or if there's any blood at all, that's a vet visit, not a training problem. Urinary infections are common in puppies, and no amount of schedule fixes one. So how long does all this actually take? Most puppies are broadly reliable somewhere between 4 and 6 months, and properly solid by around a year. But it is not a straight line, and that's the part worth knowing in advance. Because the week where they suddenly have 3 accidents after 10 clean days is the week most people decide it isn't working. It is working. 10 clean days and then a bad one is not failure. That's just what learning looks like when the thing doing the learning is 11 weeks old. So, the whole thing. 1 hour per month, so you're only ever asking for something possible. Out after sleeping, eating, and playing. 1 spot, 1 word. Reward inside 3 seconds. Outside. Every time. No punishment. Ever. An enzymatic cleaner rather than whatever is under the sink. A crate they can just stand up and turn around in. And a vet check if a reliable puppy suddenly isn't one. Do those and the accidents stop being a mystery and start being a countdown? If that helps, subscribe. There's more dog training on the channel. See you next time.